The role of Eisenheim is a little different from some of the other parts you play. What was it that first appealed to you about this part?
Well, partly that. I mean, it's always fun to do something that's a significant new experience from other things you've worked on. So that was very appealing. That the period, the romantic. It was it's a very romantic film. I hadn't really done ones like that before, and the magic. I think that's really I'm a fan of that kind of stuff, and so I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was reading about the magic preparation you did. What sort of research went into that, and did you know some magic beforehand?
I knew a very little bit, but where I was really fortunate was that we had some of the best technical advisors in the world. Ricky Jay, who's one of the all-time great scholars of magic history and practitioners, helped me with each aspect of the things I had to do, and that was incredible. But also, there's great histories of that era, which some people consider the golden age of stage illusions.
Right. And,
from, say, 1850 with Robert Houdin through to past Houdini at the turn of the century and stuff. And it's an amazing time reading. There's a great book called Hiding the Elephant, which is all about the illusionists of that period. And I loved reading about these different guys and what they did.
So how realistic was what went into shooting these tricks as far as...
Everything that we did, we set the standard for it with Ricky, who knows all about that era. Right. We said, look, we don't want any trick in this to be a trick, an illusion of a sort that wasn't being done then. So everything you see was being done in that era. We're sort of suggesting that Eisenheim is doing it at a level that's almost shockingly good, right. But even things that you might look at this in the film and say, oh, well, but that's only could be done in the modern film era, like the ghosts or seeing ghosts. There were very, very sophisticated ghosts being done before the turn of the century, things that...
So they actually did those kind of things with the holographic
People did
stuff?
incredible, with all kinds of techniques, that they actually detail in that book, with mirrors and reflections and smoke and rear projections and all kinds of stuff. People did stuff that hovering people, that people at the time were absolutely flabbergasted by, and that some of these writers say probably if they did it today would astonish a lot of people. So nothing, and the sword trick with the prince is based on a very, very famous trick that Robert Houdin used to do.
Oh, okay.
We changed it to a sword, but his was called a light and heavy chest, but the inability to lift something, one person lifting it and then another person not being able to lift it at all an instant later is a very, very well established illusion from that era.
Were there any particular tricks that didn't make it into the movie?
Yeah, there are lots.
One I guess offhand that was particularly you were disappointed not to see in film?
I think there's one where I have a bubble full of smoke that is hovering in front of a woman's face and seems to be floating in my hands, and then I pluck into the middle of it and pull a pearl necklace out, and it's been taken off of her throat. And we did all that for real, and there was no effects or anything. And I did it, even the first time I did it, Rufus and Jessica even went like that. So it was great, yeah. But I don't think that's in there. So maybe on the DVD.
Yeah. Do you know if some of that's going to make the DVD?
Well, I don't know.
Hopefully.
I don't know.
Well, you said this part had given you a chance to do something different. Is there a specific role or specific type of role in mind that you think you're usually not considered for that you'd like to try?
I couldn't say what other people are considering me for, but
do you think there's sort of a certain genre that you're not considered for, or scripts you don't get that you'd like to try?
No, I don't have a strong feeling of I never get to do that. Sometimes it's more I see a lot of the different things, but they're just not always that good.
Right.
So in this case, it was nice to. This year, in the last year, actually, they're coming out this year. But last year, I did this film and the film called The Painted Veil. That's also a period piece from the 20s. That's terrific, and it's also a very different era and time and British characters. And so it was like I got to get into the spectrum a little more last year.
Do you like the period piece?
Yeah. There's things about it that are really challenging. Yeah. Really, really challenging.
And what else are you up to now? Just looking for your next project? Are you shooting something?
I'm not. No. The Illusionist will come out in August, and The Painted Veil will come out in late November, early December, and then this movie called Pride and Glory that we did, a New York police film, will be out in probably the early part of next year.
What do you play in Pride and Glory?
It's about a family of cops, New York cops.
Okay, and you're one of the cops?
Mm-hmm.
And the character you play in Painted Veil, just real quick?
It's about the Painted Veil's. I really like the Painted Veil. We've actually just finished the cut of the film, and it's about a British couple in Shanghai in the 1920s who end up going deep into the sort of interior countryside of China during a cholera epidemic, and it's kind of about a broken up marriage that repairs itself. It's kind of it's a big out of Africa kind of a love story in a way. I mean, it's a sort of an epic love story, and
so you get a chance for another romantic.
Yeah, but it's a very complicated film, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. I like it a lot.